Russell Westbrook is no doubt one of the greatest point guards of our generation as NBA fans, but with that being said, over the past couple of years, it's really been leaving a lot of people with the question if he can have a positive impact on a championship team. Now, it's just been reported that Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets are interested in bringing Russell over to the team. Now, if you ask me, I don't know if I like the fit next to Lamelo Ball, and this might just be Michael Jordan's greatest gamble yet. So based off who you are talking to, you might say Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Now, there's some people that say that he's second to LeBron. Me personally, I like to finish the story before I review it, and we don't know LeBron's total story yet, right? But with that being said, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you might be the worst owner in the history of sports. Guys, I'm pretty excited for today's video. Keep in mind, we are doing NBA updates every 24 hours for the NBA offseason. Have that be different trades, speculation, news stories, all that good stuff. So if you are interested in those types of videos and keeping up to date with everything, literally yesterday we talked about Kenny Martin Jr. requesting a trade from the Houston Rockets. We talk about everything here on this channel, man. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I cannot grow this channel without you, so I would greatly appreciate that. But all right, man, let's get going on these rumors because there is a lot of them to cover. I am pretty happy that it's pretty heavy on the Charlotte Hornets today, though, because I do get to rock with the, teal and purple lights in the background, little mellow highlights over there. Looks pretty fresh if you ask me. Plus, this very snazzy DIY Charlotte Hornets hat. Like, literally, it's like a $3, like, one of these hats. Little sticker right there, little double-sided tape, man. Oh, you would have never guessed. You probably guessed the instant you watched it, right? But yeah, it's all good, man. Like, work with what you got, right? Okay, so rumor time. This is over the course of roughly the past 24 hours. This one was about 24 hours ago. Dennis Schroeder expected to leave the Houston Rockets. Makes complete sense. He should be going to a contender. I do not think Dennis Schroeder should be a starting point guard at this point in his NBA career. I think his best route is definitely being a six-man, high volume scoring point guard off somebody's bench, a contender most notably. And yeah, that opportunity should definitely be out there for him. The next rumor we have, this is I almost said scene. Sean Devaney, which I'm going to guess is somebody within the Miami Heat organization or Orlando Magic. It says, rival executives view the Miami Heat as a potential landing spot for Mo Bamba, which I actually think is really interesting. If Mo Bamba, well, really, he could either play that center or power forward position, but I think he would be perfect next to Bam Adebayo. I think the way both those guys play is kind of polar opposites in the sense that it could really work nicely in a positionless type of front court. Bam Adebayo, I've wanted to see him run the power forward position for a while now, but the way that I'm envisioning it is that, Bam takes on more ball handling roles for the Miami Heat as a power forward, and then Mo Bamba can play the center position but stretch things out to the three-point line. Pretty similarly to how like Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner were on the Indiana Pacers. I think that's definitely a really good route to go, and if the price is right, bring him in, right, man? Next up, we have the Golden State Warriors are going to be offering Jordan Poole roughly a 4-year extension around $100 million. That's at least to start off with the negotiations, which is obviously about $25 million a year. Honestly, I think he's probably worth even more than that. Like, I think Jordan Poole is going to be a near superstar in the NBA. Like, it looks like he's breaking out like that already. He's getting a lot of great experience at a young age with the Golden State Warriors, winning a ring already with them, playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Like, the ceiling's as high as Jordan Poole wants it to be, man. And he's diving in that pool. That was horrible. Hated it. Okay. Here's the big one, baby. Here is the big one, man. Oh, goodness. Ugh. Y'all ready? The Charlotte Hornets' interest in Russell Westbrook is real. Per Kevin O'Connor. I'm pretty sure that Russell Westbrook shoe deal, it's Jordan's, right? He's like works with the Jordan brand. I'm pretty sure, do not quote me on that. I'm not a shoe guy. I got my single pair of Kyrie, right? One Kyrie, man, like a Kyrie 2 or something like that from years ago. Got it for my birthday from my father. Only pair of basketball shoes that I own, right? But man, I'm gonna say straight up, like Michael Jordan, I know you're big on gambling, and it seems like that's kind of spraying a little bit into your career. And what do I mean by that exactly? I have a feeling that what Jordan is trying to do here is try to bring Russell Westbrook onto the team, showcase him for half the season, and try to flip him for something else. Now, either it can go one of two ways where, Russell Westbrook is just not a good fit on the Hornets, looks horrible, nobody wants to trade for him yet again, and then he leaves in the offseason for nothing, right? Or it goes really well and he looks great, but then you have the fan base being like, we love Russell Westbrook, do not trade him away, and then you have chemistry issues with the fan base because you're trading away a player that's doing really well for them. So, or he does really well and I guess you just decide to keep him. I guess that's also a third option too. But I'm going to bet on it not working if they trade him away, man. Now, the type of trade that I've been kind of hearing about would be something like Russell Westbrook over to the Hornets for Gordon Hayward in like 2 first-round picks or protected picks, something along those lines. And yeah, man, I think when it comes down to it, that just is horrible for both teams. Like, I don't know what it is at this point in Russell's career why like GMs and owners are trying to put him next to ball dominant players. It does not work. Russell Westbrook's best game is when he is the alpha dog ball handler of the team and you surround him with all-star caliber players that can play off ball and play perfectly in that type of role. It's once again why Paul George and Russell Westbrook had such a great season together on the OKC Thunder, because they gave him, a good enough player in Paul George, somebody that could take the basketball and score for himself, but also play off Russell Westbrook with high efficiency. And it just worked, man. Russell Westbrook had a really good efficient season that year, and now it's like, okay, let's see how he does next to like James Harden or LeBron James, or now in this case it would, or Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook. That actually didn't work out too bad. I've talked to some Wizard fans; they're actually not opposed to bringing Russell back to the Washington Wizards. But assuming he goes to the Charlotte Hornets, I'm sorry, but once again, if I want the ball in LaMelo Ball's hands. And I actually think LaMelo Ball is pretty similar to Westbrook in that sense that I don't think you get the most out of LaMelo if the ball is not in his hands. If he's playing off ball, yes, he shot about 39% from 3 on the season. So maybe LaMelo has this role, as an off-ball point guard. But I also know what LaMelo does best is his playmaking. If the ball's not in his hands, he's not making plays for others. It makes no sense to me. And then if the ball is in LaMelo's hands, then Russell Westbrook has to play off ball, and we just know he's essentially useless. He's pretty much PJ Tucker in the corner without a three-point shot, and or the defense. I guess we probably go that far too. And I don't know, man. I'm not saying there's not a perfect fit for Russell Westbrook, and when I talk negative about him, I'm not talking about what he's capable of doing. I know what Westbrook's capable of doing as a basketball player, but I also know at this point in his career, which just doesn't work. And it seems that all these different teams are just keep on trying to go with the thing that doesn't work instead of going to the thing that did work a little bit when he played his most dominant basketball on the OKC Thunder. And I don't know, man. I think it's pretty horrible if I'm being honest. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next rumor. There's going to be a few more things with the Charlotte Hornets here. And next up we have, let's see, the Golden State Warriors are expected to discuss a contract extension with Andrew Wiggins this summer. So this is where it gets kind of interesting because they're already talking about also bringing back Jordan Poole. So at this point, you are going to have 4 guys getting paid starter money in Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole. And quite frankly, unless they go totally small ball lineup and you put, Draymond Green as center, one of those guys is going to be coming off the bench. Let me know in the comment section below, out of all those guys, who should come off the bench, man? Like, do you feel like we're going to get to a point where maybe Klay Thompson should be the 6th man? Maybe as he gets up there with age a little bit, injuries start showing up a little bit more. Like, is that the best role? Or do you continue using kind of like what's been working and use Jordan Poole as that combo guard, shooting guard, point guard off the bench? You guys let me know in the comment section below, man. All right, next up we have... All right, so 2 pretty loose ones right here. We have rival teams believe there's a good chance the Miami Heat trade their 2022 first-round pick, so the draft is in a few days here. I think that's a good idea. If I was the Miami Heat, I'm probably looking to package that pick with Duncan Robinson and try to have a team take on that salary. I think once again, you have those younger teams like the OKC Thunder who obviously love draft picks that would be willing to take on those additional salary. I'm not just saying just the Thunder have to do that, because when you come down to it, like eventually you have to do things to put yourself in a good financial and cap situation to contend. Like the OKC Thunder can't just always be taking on draft picks and bad contracts. But I think something like that with some sort of team definitely is not a bad idea. So that's kind of what I expect there. Also, it was announced that PJ Tucker declined his player option and is going to be a free agent. It looks like as of right now, the Chicago Bulls are really interested. PJ Tucker has to be about 97 at this point in his NBA career, but he's tough as nails, right? Like next season is going to be tough yet again. Going to play defense, knock down a few three-point shots, and be good there. I feel like the Chicago Bulls actually make a lot of sense. You know, I think he'd be a good mentor to Patrick Williams. I think he'd be a good insurance policy. You know, no guarantees that Patrick Williams stays healthy again. Because, you know, just playing an entire 82-game season in general is really tough to do when Patrick Williams has to do that next year, right, man? So I think that's a pretty good route to go. And then we have a few minor ones. Well, I guess these aren't really minor. These are kind of things that happened. This is closer to about 24 hours ago, so you might have already heard about this by now, which is kind of why I saved it for last here. We have the T-Wolves are in market for a veteran center, and Clint Capella has been one of the names mentioned to them. That would be pretty interesting, and I kind of like the idea of Karl-Anthony Towns going to the power forward position. I think with the way he can shoot the basketball, you can definitely do that. Clint Capella playing on the inside. As far as what the Hawks could be interested in, I mean, you know, you can give him like a Malik Beasley, maybe a Kogi, who is a great defensive player. Haven't really seen him too much with the Timberwolves recently, but maybe he'll be a good guy next to Trae Young, and maybe even a guy like a Naz Reid. I'm actually a big Naz Reid fan. And the idea of using Naz Reid as a potential John Collins replacement on the Hawks, I actually think makes a lot of sense. I think he could be a bucket next to Okongwu, assuming he's given those starter center minutes out there too if Clint Capella gets traded away. So yeah, something like that definitely makes a lot of sense to me, man. And we also have the Kings and Hawks have discussed a trade that would send John Collins to Sacramento. I don't know what that trade sounded like. Quite frankly, the idea of Sabonis next to John Collins defensively makes me throw up in my mouth just a little bit. But it is what it is when it comes down to it, right? Like, if that's what the Kings are interested in. I mean, John Collins is a highly great offensive player. The defense a little questionable, but I don't know, man. Like, I think John Collins is a great player. I think Trae Young makes him look a lot better too, just because, you know, the thing about John Collins is you can run the pick and roll, pick and pop with them, you know, make him cut to the basket, whatever it may be. Play a little off ball, play a little bit in the corner. Like, Trae Young is so gifted offensively that you can't just like play under on Trae Young to, you know, protect, you know, like whatever movement, I guess, John Collins is going to make in the offense. And I really don't think you get that with De'Aaron Fox. Like, De'Aaron Fox is a great player. He's not a great shooter though. Like, Trae Young, you gotta have to like think twice about what move you want to make as a defensive player. Where with De'Aaron Fox, you're just gonna like stick with John Collins the entire time and just force De'Aaron Fox to shoot the rock, right, man? That's kind of how I see it. Just right off the top of my head right there. But hey, that is what it is. So that is all we have for this video. It's been pretty heavy, and keep in mind, man, that I will be making additional videos too, you know, if like big news stories happens and somebody gets traded, you guys can expect those videos here on this channel. But that's all we got, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.